So flapdoodle.
He's a fucking freak.
Since when did this become your business?
Dobby's sock. But then let's have.
Oh, they took my freaking kidney.
So Dave Vaughn sent me a couple of videos from the 2023 New Direct Selling Conference, where a man called Robert Proctor from a company called Multisoft was speaking about essentially, from my understanding, and I haven't watched this yet, but from my understanding, how to use like software and gamification to incentivize reps for direct selling companies, which is kind of exactly what I'm interested in analyzing.
You guys, I have a life.
Like from the anti-MLM point of view. So I am going to go ahead and put these videos on and we'll just see what this is all about.
Hi, I'm Robert Proctor with Multisoft Corporation. I'm here today with John Ward with the Sheffield Group. John, I want to thank you for taking a few minutes of your time today to talk to me. So, I know the thing that you do best with the Sheffield Group and do for clients, our mutual clients and all your clients, is you build brands. Correct. You build the marketing behind that brand. Can you tell us why building a brand for a network marketing company is so vital these days?
Well, branding is vital for every company, of course, because the brand is what initially attracts people towards you and then what holds them with you once you've got them. The brand is the essence of who you are, what you're about, and why you exist as people experience it and perceive it. And a brand has to be delivered in seconds because attention spans are very short. So whoever you are, whatever you have, needs to be compacted and presented to the world in a way that grabs people very, very quickly and very compellingly. And that's what I'm in the business of helping doing. Now, in direct selling, we have a special challenge because effectively we have two audiences. They may overlap, but they are distinct in terms of what they want and why they are interested in you. You have your customers and you have your distributors. So branding has to address both of those in a way that's coherent and makes a single brand.
And the world has changed because branding used to be McDonald's and Burger King and Nike, and you and I kind of grew up in that age where branding was a billboard that you're going to see for 20, 30 seconds as you're driving down the road.
Right.
Or it was McDonald's all over the corners, and we had that time to look at them and see them. Today's changed because it's internet based. We've got less time to grab brand attention than we ever had before.
That's true, but there's also an advantage in that change. Because of the internet, branding has become much more relationship based. So it's really about connection of person to person, more than just plastering an image and broadcasting that to the world. It's more about conversation than broadcast. And that's an advantage, especially in our industry, which is anyway a conversational kind of marketing.
Right.
So we build on that conversation to develop the brand. That becomes the core of the process.
So you mentioned something with, especially in our industry, that we're different than other industries, is you almost have to build two brands. You've got to build brands for distributors and brands for customers because they're two completely diametrically opposed groups in our industry.
Are they though?
How do you accomplish building branding for two different groups within the same brand or the same company?
The answer to that is these days, and I would stake my, my reputation on this because it's a rather controversial area. I believe that the brand in every case should be centered on the product, on the consumer. You build a phenomenal consumer brand, and then that attracts people into the business. They want to be part of bringing that brand to the world. So if you have a superb consumer brand, your story to the distributors is, look what we've got for our consumers. You want to be part of sharing this.
And that's where we've tried to pivot the software in the last 5 or 10 years is on customers and not distributors. You know, there was a time that
I just want to translate that just for a second because everything that he just said to me was like tell me if you disagree. Tell me if you think that he was being more altruistic than I'm giving him credit for. But to me, that was like, we don't really need to do that because we really just need to focus on the customers because really they're all the same people.
It's not a pyramid scheme. It's not even a scheme per se.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if that's not what he was saying.
Distributor, the opportunity to make money, and that's where we're now taking what you do and building it into the software so that it's not just about the opportunity, it becomes this product brand that the customer wants to buy and the distributor wants to buy.
So I have a question for you about that,
Okay.
because I'm very interested in other areas of my working life, in user experience. Because actually that's part of the brand. Every way we touch the consumer or the distributor, we're creating an experience of some kind. It may be a video, it may be a meeting, it may be a leaflet, it may be an email, it may be social media, but in your case, it's the experience of using software. And all of us know that that can be a horrible experience, it can be a mediocre experience, or it can be a sweet and honey experience. What do you do to generate a really superb user experience?
Wow, that's a big question. So we have to take the brand and the vision that you've designed and figure out how to deploy it in an environment that we've got eyeballs for 3 to 4 seconds. Where it's not just on a phone, it's on a desktop, it's on a phone. It's not just on an iPhone, it's on an Android. It's just not on a phone or a desktop, it's on a tablet. So we have to take the branding that you create and figure out how to wrap that into a user environment that we have 3 to 4 seconds for them to see what is the message. It's a matter of how fast does the web page load? How quickly can I get to the shopping cart? Am I having to navigate through 3 and 4 and 5 different hoops? Or is it one click? And today, we're the 20-year-olds and my kids, they grew up on this technology. And we live in a microwave society where they want everything instantaneously. So it's a matter of taking what we used to build years ago that you'd go through 3 and 4 steps to get to the shopping cart and 3 or 4 steps to go through enrollment. And how do we do it in one step? And how do we deliver it on multiple platforms? And that's why it's so imperative, like with what our team does, we have quality assurance. So not only do we take what you build as a brand, try to shorten the experience and build the best experience, we then have quality assurance teams that go through it as the customer experience, as the distributor experience, to make sure that when we turn this on for the world, you never get a second chance at a first impression. So when we turn this on for the world, it's ready for the world. So it's trying to shorten that experience and provide them the best experience with the least. Today,
Just so we're all on the same page here, quality assurance is a standard industry thing. Any company that manages software in any capacity whatsoever has a quality assurance department, if not just, one person, but they all do. It's part of the process.
the words less is more is probably more important than anything when it comes to the internet and what we put online.
Which is also true of branding and communication of branding. We have to be so fast and so brief. I teach my clients to think in terms of 4-second increments. Because basically, in those 4 seconds, you have to be able to communicate the most important features of your brand.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you have very little time in order to capture and hold your customer through that process that you're delivering.
Yeah. John, I appreciate the time.
Very good.
Great information. I hope our audience enjoys it, and thank you.
Okay, so that was pretty straightforward. It seems like it was all about the branding, not necessarily like gamifying.
Okay, the one other thing I didn't get a chance to tell you I'm going to finish up. On the social media, we've got a secondary system that when you log into your back office every day, I told you, I go and I check my commissions, check my sales, check my orders, and go, close the laptop. We have a system coming online that's going to tell you what to do every day. It's going to give you challenges. And with those challenges are going to come bite-sized rewards. It's called gamification. It's been used in corporate America for the last 7 years.
Misinformation.
Microsoft just bought a gamification company a few weeks ago for over $1 billion, and we're building gamification for the first time ever into multi-level marketing.
gonna play the next video since I'm not done with my makeup yet. Okay, so this one's a little bit longer. It's the same guy. So I'm just gonna keep doing my makeup. We'll see what happens. See if there's anything good in here.
Hi, I'm Robert Proctor with Multisoft Corporation, and today I'm here with Garvin Deshay with the Sheffield Group. Garvin, I want to thank you for taking some time today to speak with me. So, what is it that you do with the Sheffield Group that we then have to work together with that is the most critical key component with launching a network marketing multi-level marketing company?
You know, Robert, the thing about a network marketing company is in today's world, it's living in a dynamic environment. It's not your father's Oldsmobile anymore. Today, a network marketing company has to be responsive to consumer demand. It has to speak directly to the consumer. And the role of the distributor is not so much going out and telling people what they need to do in order to make money as they used to. There's still a little bit of that, but in today's world, it's about really driving demand at the consumer level, and that demand then supports a financial opportunity for people to be a part of the distribution organization. And so what we do at the Sheffield Group, and what I do specifically, is develop compensation plans that facilitate that communication of the product benefits, the unique benefits that this product, whatever it is, it could be a tangible product, it could be a product that is a service or even information, but it offers the user something that is a benefit that they need and want and are willing to pay for, and that drives the entire system, and it certainly provides the opportunity for people to make money from that experience.
Okay, I appreciate that answer. Now I'm going to ask you what might be a little bit tougher question, because I know you guys consult with a lot of different companies. Mm-hmm. Services, products, US-based, world-based. How do you take a new company and design a compensation plan that's unique to that company that wasn't what the last company just got?
Spoiler alert, you don't. You just reuse the same one and rename the ranks from diamond to emerald or whatever.
Oh, they put that on a t-shirt if you hit your volume quota. I bet.
Cookie cutter these compensation plans, otherwise there's no value. How do you do something different for the latest company that wasn't for the previous company?
You know, you could ask the same question if you were to go down the street to a custom baker and say to them, I know you make chocolate cakes or vanilla cakes for lots of different people. How can you make sure that mine, which still uses flour and eggs and sugar, is different than the one that you made for my neighbor? That's the same thing that we're doing here. The first thing that we do is we start by understanding the client that we're working with. We want to understand who is their target market. We want to understand what are the needs of their distributors, what are the price points, what are the margins that we're working on. We take all this information, we ask a lot of questions. We take all this information, we bring it together, and in that process, the compensation plan begins to evolve. It begins to reveal itself. We understand the basics of compensation plans, but what we're really doing here is custom tailoring this, to mix metaphors. We're creating something that is very targeted to drive the results that we're looking for. You see, a compensation plan is not about compensation. A compensation plan is first and foremost about driving certain kinds of behavior that are going to result in success for the distributor and success for the company. And in doing that,
This is spot on. I mean, this guy is just, he's just saying the quiet part out loud. In that word salad, what I heard, and again, tell me if I'm misunderstanding or you heard something else in that, but I heard that writing a compensation plan for a multi-level marketing company is like baking a cake, in that the recipe is always pretty much the same. You just customize it to the target audience, which I guess is true about literally anything, which is why I called that a word salad. Yummy, yummy. And not really much of an answer. But I do think it's super interesting how transparent this man is being. I guess this is a conference for people who are like wanting to open multi-level marketing companies, so he's speaking their language.
Because he speaks in the language of dance.
Which is nice for once to hear the truth.
Finally.
But yeah, I think he's pretty much laying it on the table. Compensation plans are not about compensation. They're about driving the behaviors that the leadership of the company, the CEOs of the company, the stakeholders in the company, which by the way are not the representatives, want to see. And he said the quiet part out loud. So I guess I kind of appreciate that. Let's see what else he has to say.
And we always have to keep in mind, how are we going to translate this through software?
Exactly.
How are we going to make that whole process work? And so you and I end up on the phone a lot of times having lengthy discussions about details of this and how do we make them work. And yet ultimately the result is what is going to drive that distributor to communicate with the customer in such a way that the customer sees the value in the product and wants to buy it.
Got it. That's some great value information. I hope the audience is going to get some value out of that. What would you like to ask me?
You know,
would provide the audience some value.
Absolutely. You know, the thing about software, and this is something that I always think about when I'm calling you up on the phone or you're calling me, is how is it we build that bridge between the concepts, the emphasis that's developed in the compensation plan, and something that is executable, something that can be presented with a positive user experience. And I know that's your commitment as well, and so my question to you is, what kinds of things are you doing in this dynamic environment in the world today to make sure that you stay on the leading edge of that?
Okay, so that's a good question. So obviously, the number one thing that we do together is discovery. We spend more time in discovery to make sure we understand what the compensation plan needs to do, how it's going to recognize, reward, and incentivize those distributors. But from a software standpoint, what are we changing that's going to help distributors? Probably the number one thing that we're doing from a compensation plan side is rank advancement. Is a rank advancement module and dashboards. When a distributor logs into the back office, they want to know some quick things. They want to know, what are my sales? How many customers do I have? How many distributors do I have? And most importantly, how much have I made? The biggest challenge in our industry is a distributor joins and they went out and they did a lot of work and they recruited people and they made some sales and they got some customers and they log into into the back office of our software and they think their check is supposed to be $127. They think they were supposed to hit the rank of silver or gold. Lo and behold, they're still only a bronze. Our software has to tell them not only what their current rank is, what the next ranks are, and what they did to achieve those, or more importantly, to help out customer service, what they didn't do to achieve those.
How they can get there.
And then how they can get there. It might be, you have to have $100 in personal volume, personal sales.
I'm editing this and I just realized that I didn't address that last thing that he just said. Oh my God. So you have to let the reps know that if they didn't make any money, even though they've been working so hard, if it's only because they're like $100 of personal volume away. I cannot believe he said that. He's literally he's saying that we design the software of the back office to make sure that you're not going to get paid unless you purchase more of our product. That, did I misunderstand that? Okay, I'm going back. I'm going back to my other points, but holy crap. Can I just say, I think it's really disingenuous for Mr. Proctor to say that the whole reason it's important to design the back office dashboard to explain why you hit or didn't hit a certain rank or commission level or anything like that is to help the reps with their customer service, it's super disingenuous, because in reality, it's to help the company field fewer complaints from reps who are not making any money when they're actually doing work, which he just admitted is happening. And it's widespread and scaled enough to the point where at this new direct selling conference, they have like literally the designer of these back offices talking about why it's important to emphasize, why is it important to emphasize why you didn't get commission? To remind you that it's your fault. That's why.
Maybe they only had $98. We have to show in real time. And that's the other thing, is the software has to be in real time. It used to be a time, you and I remember this, it could be updated once a week. It didn't matter. Well, now it's got to be real time. So in real time, a distributor's got to log in and go, okay, I've got this much in sales and this much in customers and this much in distributors.
That's another thing. It does not have to be in real time. The only reason that they need it to be in real time is because that's another way of gamifying this whole thing. If you're only getting paid once a week, if you're only getting paid once a week, but you can immediately feel like you've made money on a sale, that's gamification. That's a dopamine hit. That is very intentional. Very intentional. And he is just skirting around the actual reasons for it.
And this much in organization. Oh, I'm missing this. What do I have to do to get that? So we show them exactly what they're missing. So it does two things. One, it gives those distributors the motivation to meet those next levels.
Another word for gamification is motivational design.
So I've ranked it, and the second thing it does is it helps the customer service team. So when they call customer service at our company and say, why didn't I rank up? Well, our CSR team already knows why they didn't. They don't have to do a lot of research.
Isn't that what I just said? It's to save their customer service from the complaints they will get.
Do a lot of research. It also, all of these things feed leaderboards in our system, which, you know, let's face it, we're in sales. Network marketing is about sales. It's about customers and products and value. But from the distributor standpoint, it's about, I want to be a leader. I want my name in lights. We all want to hear our name in lights. You can say, oh, ego's not important. I don't need my name. Inside.
No, that's not in this industry.
No, not in this industry. Inside, we all want to see our name in lights. We all have that ego. We have leaderboards that take everything that you've designed for us, that we've put into the comp plan, that then determines the ranks. And in real time now, we're showing who the leaders are. Leaders by how much they've sold, how many people they've brought.
I just think that it's really obvious that these
men. Yeah, well, the men are more expendable, right? Because you need fewer men. If push comes to shove, you need fewer men.
Believe that the more you pay someone in dopamine hits throughout the day, the less you can compensate them in real money for the time that they're spending working.
Quite a lot of work.
In how much they've made. We don't show how much they've made. We can also take the technology of where are my distributors located? Where are my top distributors located? Where are my distributors that aren't making a lot of money located, so I can go work with those distributors and help motivate them. It also helps build, and there's a lot of things that what you guys do helps us. It also helps build the genealogy. And in the genealogy, we can show to everybody what you need so that they can help you out. So there's a lot of things that we take from this, 10 or 15 pages.
What he's describing it as purely motivational, but what he is describing is a combination of motivation and competition. Some competition is healthy, but you can't pay your bills with winning a competition if the prize isn't money.
Boink. Duh.
Page document and turn into technology this real time that shows distributors and helps them what they need to do.
So one other question, and that is back to the issue of consumer leading, consumer demand leading the industry here. What are you doing to innovate in the area of driving things from the consumer standpoint at a software level?
So probably the biggest thing that we've implemented in the last few years is multiple domains. So a client can have a website that is just product driven. In fact, we have some clients, they've got maybe 10, 15, 20 products. It's hard for distributors to market 10 or 15 or 20 products. our clients can have one domain that markets all of their products only for consumers, doesn't talk about the opportunity, or they can also, and we've got a lot of clients doing this, they can have one website that just has one product. It's in one central system, but I have abc.com that shows all my products, and then I have xyz.com that just has one product. And the best thing is, in my opinion, is teach a distributor, find that one product that they love, market that one product, drive traffic to that one website just with that one product. Because if I go to a website like Amazon, there's so much noise.
Yes.
What do you buy? I mean, if you go, you don't go to the homepage of Amazon and go, okay, I'm here to buy, I don't know what, because there's so much noise. So what we're trying to do with software these days with multiple domains is reduce the noise factor.
So I think there's certainly something to that, the theory behind this that he's describing, like, taking away distractions, reducing the noise factor will keep people more engaged on the app or more likely to purchase whatever's in their cart or whatever. I think that the way they're going about it, maybe I'm biased because I think that the way the companies are set up are unethical. So anything legitimate or valid that they're doing as a business, I feel that they're doing it for the wrong reasons. So I don't know, maybe this is not unethical, but to me it seems kind of sneaky and trashy to have multiple domain names selling the same thing but with different words. Like, that's just kind of sus.
That's weird.
As well as the multiple domain system allows, used to be a time that we would lead with the opportunity, make money, get the watch, get the big car, get the big house.
Right.
Those days have changed.
Right.
You know, Amazon and Shopify and all these new websites have become consumer focused, hyper consumer focused. So with the multi-domains, they can have one website about the opportunity, another website just for consumers, because let's face it, if you send me to your opportunity website and I'm interested in a product and I see there's an opportunity, even though we're best friends, Garvin, I'm probably going to leave.
Yep.
Okay. You got about 3 or 4 seconds. Oh, that's another one of those MLM schemes.
That's right. Yeah.
So you're losing 90% of your people, which is why we introduced this. So we're trying to.
I'm sorry, did he just say he's losing 90% of his people because they know that his company is an MLM scheme?
A what? No, it's an effervescent vitamin tablet.
No, like the more people you recruit, the more money you make?
Oh, well, of course.
I may have to play that back.
So that's another one of those MLM website and I'm interested in a product and I see there's an opportunity, even though we're best friends, Garvin, I'm probably going to leave.
Yep.
Okay. You got about 3 or 4 seconds. Oh, that's another one of those MLM schemes.
That's right. Yeah.
So you're losing 90% of your people, which is why we introduced this. So we're trying to, with this new model, obtain customers, acquire customers, and then convert customers to distributors.
In those sites, then in an individual product site, you're leading with a benefit. You're speaking to a need that you know that the other person on the other end of that, however many gazillion miles of cloud interface, has a need. And you want to make sure that that particular site speaks to their need in a compelling way and shows them the reason why this is the product that they want to buy to solve that need. Once they've done that, then we create a relationship with them.
Yep.
And then that process begins to build into what we now know as the current day network marketing
And then
experience.
we move on to things like, and I won't bore everyone with things like loyalty rewards and those kind of things. So, Garvin, I appreciate your time today. I hope the audience got some value from this.
You bet.
All right, thank you very much.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't learn anything from those videos, but I'm really glad that I watched them because, I mean, that was the quiet part. I feel like I have to go back and play the last few seconds.
With a benefit, you're speaking to a need that you know that the other person on the other end of that, however many gazillion miles of cloud interface, has a need, and you want to make sure that that particular site speaks to their need in a compelling way and shows them the reason why this is the product that they want to buy to solve that need. Once they've done that, then we create a relationship with them.
Yep.
And then that process begins to build into what we now know as the current day network marketing.
get them in first. Don't let them know that you're going to pitch them a multi-level marketing business opportunity.
When I'm doing a pitch, I can always tell when they're not going to buy.
What?
Because as we know, that turns off 90% of people, which is an interesting stat. I wonder where that came from. I'm going to have to look it up. Wow. I mean, good God. Please let me know what you guys thought about that conversation with Robert Proctor from the New Direct Selling Conference. So I'm finishing up editing today, this video, and realized that I don't have a conclusion or outro or anything because I ended up splitting it into 2 videos, as you might know by now or could probably tell from watching it. So those were kind of my final thoughts, but I really want to have a conversation about this, and if you're interested in hearing more about what goes on in the back office and like behind the scenes in the software development, if this is like an avenue that you would watch me go down, I'm happy to go down it. So let me know in the comments, and feel free to subscribe and share. Bye.
But then let's have. Oh, they took my freaking kidney.